Okay, so I got this Himi, I think it is, Jelly Gouache set. It has 18 colors. It comes in this really nice little case. Yeah, it comes in these little pouches. So I'm gonna open these all up, put them back in here, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so here I am trying to open all these little packets. It wasn't too awful, but it was a bit fiddly and a bit messy. But there's a lot of paint in these. I don't know if I'm ever going to use them all. I'm gonna have to start painting with gouache all the time now. Okay, yay, so we got the packets all open, and now we're gonna do some paint swatches. I don't do this often. I don't paint often anymore, so I'm really rusty, but the pigments on these seemed nice. They didn't dry out too quickly, and I'm just using the lids because I didn't want to waste paint, because no paint left behind in my books. I was seeing how they blended with each other and trying to figure out why they had the colors placed where they had them placed. I'm still not entirely sure why that is, but you know, I experimented with it and I tried to see what was going on with them, how they blended after they've dried a little bit, what happened. So I kind of just made a mess on the page. It's not a super pretty swatch process or just a pretty swatch in general, but it was good to play with it, get it used to kind of what was going on. I picked probably my favorite brush, that angled brush. I don't really know why it's one of my favorites, but when I actually get to the painting process, you'll see that I end up using mostly just it towards the end because everything else I was getting frustrated with. Okay, and here we are painting away. So I first used like a number 3 round brush, and I just was having difficulties getting it to play well with me. I'm a little heavy-handed, I think, so I think that makes it hard sometimes to paint. And then also I was trying not to get my hand in it because I put my hand on the paper a lot. So I was trying not to do that, and I was also trying not to put my head in the frame. I also like to tilt my artwork and move it around when I'm working on it, so it was hard for me to stay in one place with it. I guess keep it in one place is what I'm trying to say. So, you know, we'll get better at it as we do more of these, but I was struggling with that. And this stuff looks really awful at first, at least I think it does. Really bad. And I'm using my sketchbook, so excuse the random weird pencil drawing in the top left corner. I was just doodling during game night, and this thing came out. I don't really know. And I never finished it, so I didn't want to waste any paper. So we are just using the same page. I did struggle a little bit with getting the consistency right because it's already like a jelly gouache and it's very liquid already. I didn't think I needed to add water, but I did, and then I'd add too much, and then it was a little too watercolory. And so, yeah, I just kind of struggled with that, and I probably didn't think about what colors it was, like what layers I was putting down first very well, but I think it turned out anyway, so that's good. As I'm sure you can see, I am not the world's most professionally trained painter. I'm kind of just making it up, and I do what feels right for me. And you'll see that I change brushes quite often because I was getting frustrated with how certain brushes were playing with the gouache. And it might just be gouache in general. I don't paint with it super a lot, so that could be part of it. But I did end up leaning towards using this angled brush that you'll see later that I do for some bits, and it turned out way better, and I think I'll use that brush next time I paint with gouache, probably the majority of the time. And I always forget with gouache that it dries darker than when you put it down, so it definitely has a color shift with the end product. I also added some colored pencils a little bit later, but overall, it definitely looks different right now than it does in the video. Here's a regret I have, putting that bush stuff and these trees, and why am I using the like number 10 round brush to paint tree branches? I don't know. What was I thinking, right? You see that I've changed to another type of brush because I don't know, I was able to control it better, and I liked the way I could get angles with it. So definitely using that brush the next time I am a painting. People that I've done at the bottom right are probably my favorite thing that I drew today or painted today for this. I kind of like how they turned out. I am trying to fix my bush mistake on the little house. I'd gone and let the paint dry, and then I'd come back to work on it some more. Some colored pencil because I was just feeling like the texture would be nice, and I wanted to see how the colored pencil laid on top of the gouache, which I really liked it. I could smear it around a bit and it just gave it some extra pizzazz. I sort of think this guy looks like Carey from Whose Line Is It Anyways and the Carey show. And now what does he do? He's like on The Price is Right. Is he the host on that? I don't watch TV much. I watch movies. That's my thing that I like to do. Or Netflix. I like to binge. And I'm sad to report that my washi ripped my paper a little bit when I was taking it up. You can see it on the right page. And that's a little sad, but it's not too horrible, and it's a sketchbook, so if it gets a little beat up, it's all good because my sketchbook's not there to be pretty, it's to be drawn in. My cottage is not that great. It's kind of rubbish, but I tried and I had fun, and I think the colored pencil additions made it better. I realize the less I think about it and I just go and do and have fun, the better the work usually turns out. So I really need to stop overthinking everything quite so much. Alright, and if you made it to the end, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you want, give it a like. Maybe give me a little comment. Tell me what you want to see me paint with this gouache set maybe in the future. And yeah, thanks for watching till the end, and thank you for even watching at all. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great night. It is night now, so I'm going to just say night, and we'll see you next time. Bye.